Back to the channel. Today we're going to unravel some incredibly complex events in Genoa. Rumors are circulating around the Newman family, but what's the truth? In this video, I'll summarize the plot points that will be revealed in the next episode. Stay tuned to see what happens. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel with another daily news analysis. The plot gets dramatic and tense when Victor discovers Matt's plot against him. He's going to teach him a lesson, which could lead to some dramatic events. I mean, honestly, how many times have we seen this exact same fight between Victor and Nikki? But this one hits different. It really does. Nikki is literally blind right now. She has bandages over her eyes. She is recovering from this massive optic nerve tumor crisis, and Victor is still picking fights with her. It is exhausting. I am so tired just watching them go at it. Nikki asks Victor a question that honestly made me stop and rewind the episode. She asks him point blank if he would even be talking to her right now if she wasn't blind. And wow, just wow. That is a heavy thing to drop on your husband. But let's be real, she has a valid point. Victor has been so cold and calculating lately. He liquidated her assets while she was in surgery. Who does that? So yeah, Nikki has every right to question his motives and wonder if he is only hovering around out of some twisted sense of duty or pity. She knows he is absolutely furious that she went to visit Jack. And can we talk about Jack for a second? Jack is lying in a hospital bed because Patty Williams stabbed him. And Patty is only in town because Victor brought her here. So Victor being mad at Nikki for visiting her friend who almost died because of Victor's own mess, it is peak Victor Newman hypocrisy. It is just mind-blowing how he twists things in his head to make himself the victim. So Victor tells Nikki she has to cut ties with Jack. He actually gives her an ultimatum right there in the room. He tells her she needs to stop talking to Jack entirely. And I am just sitting here screaming at my screen. What gives him the right? Nikki fires back, and she goes hard. She points out the absolute insanity of his demand. She tells him that Jack is her friend, a dear friend who has been there for her. And then she brings up the elephant, the massive, glaring, Matt Clark-sized elephant in the room. Nikki throws it right in Victor's face that he is letting Matt Clark live at the Newman Ranch. Matt Clark, the guy who terrorized Sharon, the guy who fueled Nick's drug addiction, a walking nightmare for the entire Newman family. Nikki is like, how dare you tell me I can't see my best friend in the hospital when you are harboring a literal monster under our roof? And she is so right. She is 100% right. Sometimes I think Nikki is the only one who sees clearly in that house, even when she literally cannot see a thing. But then she does the thing she always does. The thing that drives fans on social media absolutely crazy. She walks away, but she stops. She stops and turns back, or well, looks back as best she can and tells Victor that she will always love him despite what he has done. Why? Why, Nikki? I mean, I get it. They are the epic love story of the show. They have decades of history, but come on. The man is a tyrant right now. He is ruining lives. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. They have this toxic trauma bond that they just can't break. She tells him she loves him, and Victor just stands there looking. He doesn't soften. He doesn't apologize. He is just seething with rage because he isn't getting his way. It is so frustrating to watch, but it is also classic Y&R drama. You just know this is going to blow up even. And right on cue, as soon as Nikki leaves, who walks in? Matt Clark. Of course it's Matt. The timing on this show is always so perfectly ridiculous. Matt walks in and he looks miserable. He has this whole woe is me attitude going. He tells Victor that he can't find any dirt on Kane Ash. Remember, Victor is forcing Matt to spy on Kane and dig up some kind of evidence to destroy him. Why Victor is so hyper-focused on Kane right now is a whole other rant, but he is. And Matt is failing at his job. Matt tells Victor he has nothing, no dirt, no evidence, nothing. And then Matt drops a bomb. He says he just wants to leave Genoa City. He wants out. He wants to pack his bags and leave this whole mess behind. But Victor is having none of it. Victor Newman does not let his pawns just walk off the board. He tells Matt no, flat out no. And then the threats start. Victor reminds Matt that they have a deal. He reminds Matt of the loyalty. He basically holds the threat of prison over Matt's head. Victor is like, you leave this town, you go to jail. It is blackmail, pure and simple. Victor is using Matt's fear of going back to prison to control him. And it is so dark. Victor is playing God with everyone's lives. He doesn't care about Matt's redemption or Matt's amnesia or whatever is going on in Matt's head. He just views Matt as a tool to get what he wants. And right now, he wants Kane destroyed. So Matt is standing there looking like a kicked puppy, which is wild considering all the horrible things Matt has done. It is so hard to feel sorry for him. But the writers are really trying to make us feel bad for him. Matt complains to Victor that the rest of the family wants him gone. He's like, Nick hates me, Noah hates me, everyone wants me out of here. And I'm just yelling at the TV, yes, Matt, because you ruined their lives. What does he expect? A welcome home parade? He tortured Nick. He did unspeakable things. Of course they want him gone. But Matt is playing the victim card so hard right now. He tells Victor he is tired of it. He is tired of the emotional abuse. He actually uses the words emotional abuse. The irony is just too much to him. So Matt leaves. He walks out of the ranch looking totally defeated. He doesn't know what to do. He is trapped. If he stays, he is hated by everyone and controlled by Victor. If he leaves, Victor sends him to prison. It is a lose-lose situation. And honestly, part of me is enjoying watching. But another part of me is just confused about where this storyline is going. Like, what is the end game here? We know from a few episodes ago that Nick secretly ran a DNA test on Matt, and the results showed Matt has Newman blood. Matt is probably Victor's son, and nobody knows yet. Or at least, Victor doesn't seem to know. Can you imagine the explosion when that secret comes out? Victor is treating his own son like a disposable spy. It is going to be a disaster. But wait, it gets crazier. Because after Matt leaves the new ranch setup, he is wandering around feeling sorry for himself. And who does he bump into? Phyllis Summers. Because of course he does. Phyllis is everywhere these days. And Phyllis and Matt have this incredibly weird, twisted dynamic going on right now. Matt is super upset. He is venting to Phyllis. He tells her the exact same thing he told Victor. He says he just wants to leave town. He wants to run away from Genoa City and start over somewhere else where people don't look at him. He tells Phyllis he is so tired of being treated terribly and always being viewed as the bad guy. And how does Phyllis react? Does she tell him to pack his bags and good riddance? Nope, not Phyllis. Phyllis refuses to let him go. She literally tells him he cannot leave. And it is so bizarre. Phyllis is fiercely defending this guy. She has been protecting him for weeks. She thinks he is a changed man. She thinks his amnesia is real and that he deserves a second chance. Or at least That is what she is telling everyone. But let's be real. This is Phyllis we are talking about. Phyllis always has an angle. Always. Is she genuinely falling for? The fans on social media are divided. Some people think she is really catching feelings for him, which is gross considering his. But others think Phyllis is just using him. She knows Matt is a valuable pawn. She knows Victor is using him, so maybe she wants to use him too. Phyllis is in the middle of this massive war with Victor over the Summers conglomerate and Newman Enterprises. She is fighting for her corporate life. Maybe she thinks keeping Matt close gives her some kind of leverage. If Victor wants Matt around, Phyllis wants to control Matt. It is a power struggle. But Phyllis is playing a very dangerous. Matt is unpredictable. Even if he has amnesia, he is still Matt Clark. The dark side is still in there. And Phyllis is just inviting that darkness into her life. Matt is pleading with Phyllis. He's saying, Phyllis, I can't take it anymore. Victor is threatening me. Nick wants me dead. And Phyllis is just looking at him with this intense gaze, telling him to stay strong. She is basically enabling him to stay in a toxic environment. Why? Why does she care so much? It makes no sense unless she has a master. Or maybe she is just lonely. Phyllis has alienated a lot of people. Summer and Daniel are barely speaking to her. Nick is furious with her. Maybe Matt is the only person who looks at her and doesn't see a schemer. Matt looks at her and sees a savior. And Phyllis loves to be the savior. She loves to feel needed. When you zoom out and look at this whole pattern, it is classic Y and R. The writers love to take a villain and try to redeem them by pairing them up with a strong female character. They did it with Adam. They've done it with Victor a million times. But Matt Clark? That is a tough pill to swallow. Who actually believes this is going to end well? Nobody. Literally nobody. It is a ticking time. And the fact that Phyllis is standing in the way of him leaving town is just going to blow up in her. She is tying her own fate to a guy who is universally hated by the most powerful. And we can't forget the DNA secret. I just keep coming back to that. Nick knows Matt is a Newman. When is he going to drop that bomb? Imagine Phyllis finding out she is protecting Victor. Imagine Victor finding out he has been blackmailing his own flesh and blood. The fallout is going to be epic. It is going to shift the entire power dynamic of Genoa. But right now we are just stuck in this messy middle part where everyone is yelling at everyone else and nobody is actually communicating. Getting back to Nikki and Victor for a second. I really hope Nikki stands her. I know she said she loves him, but she needs to keep her distance. Victor needs to realize that he cannot control everyone. He can't control Nikki. He can't control Jack. And eventually, he won't be able to control Matt either. Victor is acting like a cornered animal right now. He is lashing out at everyone, and it is driving his wife away. If he isn't careful, he is going to lose Nikki for good. And honestly, maybe that would be for the best. Okay, maybe not for the best. They are soulmates, but they need a serious break. So that's where we are. Matt is trapped between Victor's threats and Phyllis's weird obsession with keeping him. Nikki is blind, heartbroken, and still trying to defend Jack. Victor is just a ball of rage. It is messy, it is chaotic, and it is exactly why I can't stop watching. I swear I need a nap after watching. The emotional whiplash is real, you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is Phyllis falling for Matt? Is Victor going to push Nikki too far? We will have to wait and see.